Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, episode 10 of season 6 of The Flash just came out, and yeah, we're gonna talk about it. It was an interesting episode. I did enjoy it. There were just like one or two things I was like kinda about, but again, that was just my own personal expectations of what might have happened, so I wouldn't really take that too much. It wasn't really even really bad, it was just like something that I would have liked to see that wasn't there. But again, it kind of gets a pass since that's like my own, like, I would have liked to see it, but it just didn't happen. So, if you guys go on to enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share it. I would love to hear from you guys and talk about The Flash, Legacies, whatever. I do multiple different things. I'm even putting out a video about the Scooby-Doo, What's the Scooby-Doo series, so you can check that out at some point too. Yeah. Here's my Flash Season 6, Episode 10 review. So there were, like, a lot of good things I enjoyed, but again, so let's just talk about that now. The one thing that I didn't like about this episode, and it's not even something I didn't like, it's just something that, unfortunately, they left out, or maybe they didn't even leave it out, maybe it was like, they never had a plan to even put it in there, but John's ring. This was a very Iris-focused episode, but it did have, like, the other storylines, too. But, like, we had the Barry and Diggle friendship team-up thing going on, which was hilarious, by the way. But, like, his ring is never brought up once. And I don't know if this is... I know this takes place after the fact. And I was, like, checking to see... Like, really checking to see if, like, they put the ring in there at all. And I honestly don't think they did. Excuse me. So that was just, like, the one thing. And now I can talk about how great this episode was. Because that really was just, like, the one thing that I wasn't really a fan of. Is that they didn't put it in there. Because, like, that was, like, the big thing at the end of the last... It wasn't, like, the big thing. But it was, like, the thing that was, like, oh, they're doing the Green Lantern. But, like, they don't talk about it at all. Yeah. Okay, so right off the bat in this episode we have something that I really enjoy, which is the new logo. Well, we have, of course, the Flash saving Jitters, which I found hilarious. The guy just decides to rob the place on the first opening, and there's, like, no money in the register, and so he just sets to just start shooting stuff randomly. And that's when the Flash saves the day, and we got a new intro, which I really enjoy. It's been, like, 6 years. I find in comparison how Oliver and Arrow got, like, a new thing every couple of seasons. But yeah, the Flash finally got a new intro, and I really like it. It shows, like, all the different characters, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And that's when we get our opening with Frost. She's going by Frost now, no longer Killer Frost. And we get Cisco's Who's Who binder, which I really enjoyed seeing. And they are doing, and I'm pretty sure when he said this about their new rogues getting a paint job, that this is harkening back to the New 52, where all of the Flash's rogues, I think, like, Frost, not Killer Frost, but, like, blank on his name, Leonard Snart, and, like, Heatwave, Captain Cold, and Heatwave and them, like, get the powers that each one, or, like, they get, like, an upgrade to their powers, so I'm pretty sure that's what Cisco was referencing in this, or, like, that's what it was calling back to, because, like, he's talking about how they all have the new powers, or, like, they get a touch-up. So I look forward to seeing it. That whole scene was great. I love, like, the world building going on. In that, like, we get, like, a whole entire thing of the world building and talking about the new hero. He just name dropped, like, so many villains. So, like, if the Flash continues as it is, we officially have a whole book of new heroes. I mean, sorry, of new villains. Who knows, maybe some new heroes, too. Okay, so that is when we get jump to Barry talking to Diggle, or, like, the fact that Diggle's here now. And again, I love this friendship. Kind of sucks that Diggle's moving to Metropolis, but I'm looking forward to seeing that Green Lantern Superman interaction. Yes, I'm hoping or banking on that happening. But I love Barry and Diggle's friendship. Come on, it's a budding friendship at this point in school. With Oliver out of the picture, and I want Barry to have a friend. I want Diggle to have a friend, and make some new friends, guys. And yeah, and we get Barry I don't want to say obsessively, but he's like discussing the possibility of there being a new threat. I love Diggle giving Barry the mask from the previous season, or like that's the mask that Barry first gave Oliver. I thought it was an interesting little like side adventure or like adventure period, and just seeing Barry kind of like struggle with like the post-crisis stuff. We got a lot of Iris stuff this episode too, like I previously said, and I find it great. I like her being a detective / newspaper person. Her interaction with that guy was well enough. We get like a cut after that to like the new villain, or like a new villain is that bad guy assassin. I do not remember her name, I'm sorry, but like I think she's pretty cool. I like her design and everything. I love how this is like Dr. Light 2.0, which if you know anything about what might be happening this season, it's that Sue Dibney is also going to be there. And that also ties in with the storyline having to do with Dr. Light, technically. So I like how they like just name drop, like this is like the new Dr. Light. And that could possibly fit in with like a future storyline down the road. I think the newspaper stuff is relatively interesting. It's gonna be like a main, I feel, focus of the season-ish. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I felt like, let me know what you guys think. I felt like it was very, centered this episode, which, again, I don't mind, not my favorite part, but I enjoy Iris, so cool. That's when we get back to Barry and Diggle being the best. Poor Diggle having to deal with, Barry speeding around everywhere. He's still... I'm sorry, but how many seasons and then into the Flash and then Crisis? How is Diggle still shook by this? Like he's done this before multiple times. He had like a few people on his team that have like abilities. I'm just surprised at this point that Diggle's still like, well, and Diggle's just like, well, you know, he's still reacting poorly to Barry and his powers, and I just find it hilarious. Again, I like this whole friendship evolving, and I really hope it continues. I find it interesting that Barry's like just trying to find any lead. We get the Mirakuru little drop. I thought it was I would have liked to see Lanyu be like somewhat different, or like maybe they'll use it in a future storyline, but like there was a lot of like little drops this episode, different things like connecting the worlds, which is what I wanted to see anyway, so I enjoyed it. But yeah, their whole Barry like bringing the crime lab to him, Diggle still being freaked out by the Flash, his powers and stuff was funny. Him like preparing to run to Lian was also funny. Just, I found the most funny scenes this episode had to do with Barry and Diggle. Yeah, no, it's just, they had the funniest scenes. Besides Nash Wells, yeah, no, they definitely had the funniest scenes out the episode. We get our main villain of the season, which is Black Hole, which we don't know until the end of the episode, but like this is the guy who we find out later is responsible for all, or like he was, I feel like he's just gonna be like a part of it. I have like some theories about what could possibly be happening. Nothing at all concrete, but this is like what I possibly think could happen. Anyway, the main villain, I liked Iris like doing her investigating thing. I already said that, but like I find it interesting. She's officially Iris West, the reporter. Sorry, Iris West Allen, the reporter. I thought this, after that we get her whole like confronting the bad guy quote unquote scene and her like going hard at it. I appreciate that. There was a call out to Supergirl's quote unquote villain. I do not remember the name, but like it is a direct, it is the head of Catco, which is no longer Catco, Obsidian North. We get a call out to that this episode. And then we get them back in the office, where Cecile, at this point, I'm a little bit confused on how Cecile's powers work, but they let her sense a sniper, which was cool. I like Cecile though, so like, keep her. I don't really care that I'm confused about her powers. I like her as a character. Let's make it like the shootout. I think that gun is really cool, and like how it like dissolves stuff. I don't know how the physics behind the gun is crazy, but like I love it. I think it's like an interesting little thing. Them not being able to reach the island. How does this communicate? I think it's interesting that physics have like officially started going like weird, and that Cisco talks about that, how they can no longer use the little device that they use to teleport around the city and stuff like that. So I think that was like a little interesting tidbit they threw in there. Cisco being genuinely mad at Nash Wells. I like that whole scene. I like Cisco finally like being able to express like what happened, because Nash Wells was responsible. Like, he opened up that door. He caused that. Technically he caused that. But back to like that whole scene, and Cisco's powers though. I would have thought or assumed that the Monitor would have like let him keep them, or maybe it's part of the whole new universe rebooting. He doesn't have his powers now. Let me know what you guys think. Oh yeah, I was saying something. The connection. How at this point does the watch not work there either? Like the watch that everyone clicks on. I know that at this point nitpicky, because again, I did enjoy the episode. That was just like a little nitpicky thing, like the bracelets that they have. But I guess since it's like a remote island and everything, that's understandable. So yeah, Cisco's whole blow up at Nash Wells. And later we find out that he blames himself, so that just makes that scene even sadder. And how Nash Wells paid for his thing deeply. Like, he messed up and he recognizes that. And Cisco just like telling him that he failed and everything, it hurt. And finding out that Jesse Quick and Harrison Williams from the Earth are gone is sad. That's just sad. And we get that more of that later on too. But like, yeah, for now we had that whole Cisco being mad and upset, and I thought it was very well acted. It was a good scene in general. I just enjoyed it. Iris going to meet her informant and then him dying. I honestly didn't expect that. I expected something like that would happen. I honestly thought Iris was gonna run that girl over. I didn't expect her to like take damage. Like, this season, I give it that. Iris' storyline is much more serious. Like, she's in some actual, not that like previous seasons she wasn't in real danger, but I just feel like this one's much more personal. Like, this is someone going after her, and again, we've had that before, but for some reason this season it feels more like there, and it feels more like real for the show. It hits more. I really did not expect her to have like I knew she had gotten hit by like some sort of energy thing, but like I thought Killer Frost was gonna come in and like save her before that point, or like anyone at this point. I guess that's like one of the things about mixing worlds now, is that like not everyone's gonna be able to like be on hand, and Iris is independent. She can take care of herself. And I don't mean that sarcastically, I genuinely believe that, but like, carry a gun, some kind of weapon, give her something. I know she's reported, but like, Iris needs something to defend herself. Yeah, I genuinely got worried though when she passed out. That's when we get the scene where, like, cut to the next scene where Barry and Diggle are on the island, and poor Barry, just, when he opened up the case, I honestly thought there was going to be like a new little side story. Possibly. I didn't think Diggle would be around any more than this one episode, but like, I genuinely thought it would be like some sort of something to lead to something else. I didn't think it was just going to like end there. However, I was pleasantly surprised by the way this unfolded. I think that Diggle giving Barry a little pep talk was good. I am genuinely curious to see what's going on with Barry. I know that this is kind of spoilery, but later on we have an episode called Death of the Speed Force, which I don't know. I thought it was going to be him overpowered in this episode with that little thing, but apparently maybe it's Speed Force draining. But anyway, we got this whole scene of Diggle and Barry, and I think it's great. He gives Barry this speech. I think it's very similar to the speech that Oliver gave Barry back in however many seasons ago that was. I think it's... So yeah, like I said, I think it really ties back to like that a few seasons ago when we saw Oliver give Barry the hero speech. Except this one has like a different tone to it. This speech isn't about going out and being the hero. This is about Oliver sacrificed himself, and Barry has to figure out how to live with that. And like, there's no... I didn't say there's no new threat, but there is always going to be a threat. But like, Oliver sacrificed himself so that they could also live and not just focus on the mission. This scene really got to me. I was getting relatively, like, emotional to a degree. It was like an emotional scene, and it really hit me seeing them talk and then harkening back to that and just everything about it. Just, it really got to me. It hit you in the feels. And then we see, and two emotional scenes back to back. Two emotional scenes back to back, because we get poor Cisco. Looking at a recording of Nash Wells, who apparently was getting his brain back, Okay, this one really got me. Yeah, I was really emotional at this part. Like, the whole scene. Seeing the recording, having Caitlin come in, the look on Cisco's face just hurts. I really enjoyed the scene though, because it had like, it reminded me of like season 1 with Cisco and Catelyn, like their friendship, and seeing Cisco cry was just hurt too. A lot of hurt feelings this episode, but like I like that it like goes back to like the first season where they had like this really close friendship that we haven't really seen too much of, but enough of. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing that whole thing. We got to see Joe West come back, and I'm very happy. We got a really emotional scene with him and Iris. Like, he just wants to protect his daughter. That's commendable. And Iris was kind of rushing into it, like, head first. So yeah, that was good. And that is when we get another scene with our assassin, or Dr. Light 2.0. And that's really cool. We got, like, this whole contrast of, like, the two things happening at once of the house being attacked, and which is actually a trap, along with Iris going and confronting, I really should remember his name, but going and confronting the head of the Black Hole Corporation. So that was cool. That little fake out was pretty cool. And seeing, like, Joe West get back in action, and, like, him and Killer Frost team up, that's great. Let's get more teams like that. I can appreciate that. But Iris finally figuring it out, that's great. She's a reporter, a detective reporter. She's awesome. So good for her. Not that he was, like, hiding anything anyway, but, like, she actually, like, did the thing. She went out and became a reporter and is, like, hitting this guy hard. Sorry, I'm kind of getting a little rambling, like, Iris fangirl over here, but just, I love her character. And that they're finally, like, doing what she's supposed to do. Seeing that guy squirm was funny. Yeah, there's nothing really funny about the scene, but just, like, it was a cool little thing to see, like, her intimidate the guy. Seeing Killer Frost get shot, oh, that's gonna be interesting. Like, I don't know why it didn't, like, kill her immediately. Well, I know why, her frost powers, but, like, to that extreme, I don't know if they've ever been, like, to that degree. I'm sure they have, and I'm just, like, not realizing it, but, like, seeing the villain, like, go after, and poor Joe, just getting knocked out. Nah. But, like, seeing the assassin come after Caitlyn, and, like, her pulling out the bullet, she's awesome. Caitlyn Snow, I just feel like all the praise goes to, like, I don't want to say all the praise goes to all the females in this episode, but, like, pretty much, yeah. They were the awesome part. The Diggle and Barry was the funny, and the females legit just kicked ass. Caitlyn pulling out a bullet that should disintegrate her was awesome. That whole villain, I wasn't on board at first, not gonna lie, because I thought the design looked kind of weird, but, like, it's a genuinely intimidating villain. Like, after looking at it, like, a few times, like, it's pretty cool. Iris getting the guy to back off, that was good. And Cisco. So is Cisco leaving? Like, is that what's happening right now? Is Cisco, like, actually going to be leaving? I don't think he's leaving the show. But, like, he entrusted Nash Wells with that. And, like, with watching over, I thought that was a great scene. I love seeing Cisco, like, vibe, haha, with the Wells. But him giving up Star Labs, essentially. I want to know what's going to happen with Cisco. I know he's not leaving the show, but, like, what if he's really leaving? Oh, the mystery. Let me know what you guys think down below. I want to hear your theories and thoughts. I kind of figured that Nash had some connection to the girl. I really need to start writing down these names and keeping them in front of me. I'm sorry. But his connection, we knew there was going to be something. Now, as to what the connection is the important part. I'm guessing daughter, niece, something of that nature. And we get the really cute Barry and Iris scene that I love. I love seeing the scenes with them together. It's great. Let's show more homey Iris and Barry stuff. We get the fact that they kept the flash mask as, like, a centerpiece-ish thing. That got me too. And then we got that ending, which I honestly thought the ending was going to be like John flying away with the ring. I know I keep talking about that, but I just can't help it because it was cool. But I did not expect that. In the end, we get Iris going back to the lab, figuring all this stuff out, going into this woman's office that's, like, she she goes back and she like does like the steps to take to get there. She takes the pin, she opens the door. Honestly, there's gonna be something on the computer. I jumped at the scene where she takes off the thing. I honestly thought it was gonna be like a vision thing to another world, but no, it was just a mirror. And then we get nothing, and we got a beep in the computer. I thought she was gonna get captured or something. All of a sudden, hands. I jumped at this part because I was not expecting it. They come out and pull her into the mirror. So I know that the thing is, Iris is gonna be acting weird. Okay, at the end of the episode, I'll talk about theories later, but like, so all in all, the episode was great. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was funny. I thought it did a great job at world building as we have now. I loved Iris and Barry and Diggle and Cisco. I loved how they interacted.